Hey, welcome everybody to the broadcast. My name's Trevor, and thanks for everybody for being here. I've made little progress on my Wix site over the last few weeks, which I feel bad about, but I'm going to pick up on it soon. Just had some other stuff sort of get in the way that took priority, but that's not going to stop what we're doing here today because I actually learned something interesting with my Wix site. At the same time I've been doing this Wix site, I've also been doing a separate WordPress site for another business. And what's interesting is, of these two sites that I've done, the Wix one right now has officially, and I'm just going to count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.5 pieces of content that started a little over a month ago. So let's put it this way. Wix site, 8 pieces, or 8, we'll say 8 articles, started 1 month ago. And then this WordPress site, 2 articles, started probably 2 weeks ago. Guess which one is in Google right now? Without any marketing happening, like this is literally all I've done. I've just added content to these 2 sites. Guess which one is showing up in Google? Well, you would think it would be the Wix site because it's older and because it's got more articles, but nope, this site right here is pulling rankings in Google already, and I'm not sure why. The only difference between these 2 sites is this has its own domain, like, for example, it's just a www.whatever.com. So this has just got a normal domain. This site, the Wix site, if you can remember, has sort of like a subdomain. It's a Wix subdomain, and I'll show you again. In fact, let me bring up the site so you can see the address. This is the official address here, and I told you this was a concern early in the game. You can get a normal domain from Wix, but if you're going to use the Wix free account, they only give you this planterwortweb.wixsite.com. So you get to choose what goes here and what goes here. This right here, this .wixsite.com, stays the same. Now, I've seen sites in Google that have .wixsite.com, and I can show you that today. There's plenty of them out there. But to naturally get included and indexed into Google without doing any marketing, it's not working. I haven't done any marketing, so I'm not concerned. I'm still confident I can get this listed into Google, but I just thought it was interesting that just by virtue of the fact that I was using WordPress and I had my own .com with this site, that is actually getting indexed into Google. Now, for those of you guys that don't understand indexing, let me just draw this out for you real quick because I think this will be helpful to understand. When you create a website on the internet, and we'll just pretend for a second, this magnificent drawing right here is going to be, this is going to be our website. So this is our www that we're working on. We want to get this into Google, right? Isn't that the whole goal here? This needs to get into Google's search engine. Many of you guys don't understand this, but just because you have a website, it doesn't automatically just make it show up into Google. Google has to find you first. So over here, this is going to be representative of Google. This is the Google search bar, we'll say, right? Here's a Google page. If we want to get our site inside of Google, Google has to find us first. Now there's something called the Google search bot, or the Google bot, or the Google crawler. It's the technology that helps Google find sites. So the way I always explain it to clients that have never heard of any of this before is Google isn't the internet, okay? Google is just a part of the internet. It's whatever Google has found. So there's websites out there that are online that aren't findable in Google, okay? Google proactively looks for new sites. So they send out this technology. Google does. We'll sort of represent this as a spider because sometimes they call it, the Google spider or spidering. It's called the Googlebot. This technology here goes out and sort of searches the internet, okay, and tries to find brand new sites. Well, this technology has a real hard time finding a brand new www like my Wix site, because the way this technology works is it crawls through links, okay? So for example, if I created a Facebook page, okay, we'll say this is a Facebook page for my www, and I put a link, right? Like this link right here, if I put that on my Facebook page, because Google is well aware of Facebook, if I put that link here, Google's spider technology would find that link, and then through that link would come back and find my website, okay? That's what we call indexing. If Google can find my site, then what they'll do is they'll crawl it, they'll study it, and then guess what? They take it back and they save it inside Google's database, okay? Which is great, right? Because once we're in Google's database, we're then findable. So if you're starting a brand new site like we're doing now, sometimes you kind of get lucky and you get found. And I honestly, I'm not sure why in my example here with this WordPress site, I'm not sure why this one already got found by Google, but I know it did. And I'm going to show you how you can verify it. I know it's in there, and I know this one is not. Let me show you a little trick in case you guys have a website that you want to know if it's found in Google. Let me teach you something that's really great. Okay, so let me zoom in on this and just show you this little trick. If you want to know if your site's in Google, you type in this. Okay, I don't know how well you can see this right now. Look up here where I'm highlighting. I'm going to circle it in red right here. Okay, this is the address bar. You guys know where that is at the top of your browser, the address bar. I want you to type in site and then colon, okay? So SITE, site, colon, and then yourwebsite.com, okay? Whatever that is. Let's do the example with Nike.com really quick. Okay, we did site colon Nike.com, and basically what we're doing is we're saying, hey, Google, please tell us how many pages of Nike.com do you have in your database? And look how many they have. Lots and lots, 3 million or more. One of my sites that I've had for a long, long time, site colon financialnut.com. That's one of my sites that I own. And so I'm asking Google how many pages of that site are found within Google. 129. Okay. Well, let's try this with my Wix site. So let me copy my URL. My Wix site URL is kind of ugly. I realize that. But I'm going to copy this right here. I don't need the HTTPS. So I'm going to do site colon planterwortweb.wixsite.com/warts. That's my site address. When I put that in, guess what Google says? Your search did not match any documents. Meaning, right now, none of those pages are found within Google. None of my site is in Google. Now, should I be concerned by that right now? No, and I'm really not actually, because I'm still working on my content. Like I've told all of you guys before, you try to get between 15 and 20 articles written that's good content before you ever consider starting to do any advertising and marketing. So do I worry about that? No. I think it's interesting that my WordPress site with its own domain is already found in Google after only being around for a couple of weeks. But I got to tell you something about this. We get so concerned about getting indexed within Google and being found within Google. But you want to know the truth? The truth is, guys, it's really great to get found in Google. but it doesn't do you any good just to be inside Google. You need to get good rankings. And so even if my site got indexed at this point and was available in Google, it's likely not very many people would find me because I'm probably ranking really poorly because I haven't done any work to really help myself with my rankings. So tonight I just want to explain to you what getting indexed is and what that means. When somebody says, "Hey, I'm going to get you included into Google," if some marketer tried to sell you something over the phone and tried to say, "Hey, we're going to get you in Google," that's not very hard to do. It's very simple to get a website into Google. If you go out there and create a Facebook page or a Twitter account or an Instagram account and simply in the profile of that social media put your link in, like we talked about a minute ago, Google's going to find you and index you almost 100% of the time. There's also a way, which I'm not going to show you tonight, that you can go through Google yourself and you can officially submit your site to Google and make sure that Google's including you. That's something you should do anyway when you're ready for marketing. There are ways to get indexed into Google very easily. The difficult thing for you is going to be, well, once I'm in Google, how do I actually get my site to rank well? What are some things that I can do to actually see my site get some rankings? And that's what your emphasis and your focus should be on. So, but this is important. I think it's important to understand that or at least how Google works, their indexing and how that process works. I hope that makes sense. Guys, for those of you guys who are here live with me, are you following that? Does that make sense how Google gets you indexed into their search engine? You guys following that okay? Let me know if that's not clear. So if again, like what can you leave with tonight? Well here, I mean, use this formula in Google. If you've already got a website right now, put in site : and then your website address, and you can see if you're indexed. If you're indexed, great, good for you. Your next step is to figure out how to get high rankings, and we'll continue to teach you that. But I thought those were some good basic skills that you guys would appreciate understanding. So I hope that's helpful to you. And an interesting observation that Wix sites don't get indexed in Google very easily, not without some work. So I'm going to finish up my content. I'm going to get that done, and then I'll take you through the process of how I actually get that index to happen. Okay, we'll be doing that hopefully real soon. Thanks, guys, for coming along. I appreciate it. Even though we're a little late tonight, I hope this was worth your time and helpful. We'll see you guys all next time with a little more progress, hopefully, at that point. Thanks again.